This is Brant Bjork from Vista Chino, and you're watching the AU Review at the Big Day Out.
And welcome back to Australia.
Thank you.
You were last here for the for Soundwave Festival last year, or was it the year before?
I believe it was last year.
I think it was last year. It's New Year, so I get confused. But it's good to have you back, and with a new album under your belt as well.
Yeah.
The first with the rename, and you went back to Joshua Tree for the record, I understand.
Yeah, I have a house out in Joshua Tree at a piece of property where I just built an all analog studio, and that's where we wrote and created the new record.
What do you think it's about? I mean, for most Australians are familiar with by name but haven't been there. What do you think it's about that area that creates so much, has created so many great creative energies over the years for so many bands?
Well, I think there's an isolation factor, and just there's not a whole lot out there to kind of demand a whole lot of your immediate attention, and so you're kind of left to kind of embrace a semi-meditative state, and that's always positive for creativity. I know some people that come out to the desert, they kind of get nervous and experience a little bit of anxiety for a couple days because they're just kind of so isolated. It's like being on an island, kind of. But you start to relax and hang out, and then it becomes very intoxicating in a good way. Yeah.
When it comes to the latest record, I mean, what was the gestation period for that? I mean, how long were you working on it and building those songs? Because it was a while between material.
I think it was January, February of last year. Our guitar player Bruno Fevery flew out, and we hung out in the desert. Just started, like I said, jamming, playing guitars, hanging out, talking, just hanging out. And then I think it was sometime in maybe March that we started rolling tape. And I don't, to be honest, remember the timeline after that. We just, at that point, it's like, just keep going until you're done. And so here we are.
Here we are, and we're at the Big Day Out, and how have the crowds received you so far? Were you in New Zealand as well?
We didn't do New Zealand, but we did the Gold Coast, and it was great. Yeah, our fans, they really embraced the new name and the new music, and they're really excited, and we're very grateful for that. And so we're all just off and running, having a good time.
So, by the sounds of it, the way you create your music, it mustn't be too difficult to translate that in the live environment, because it seems born out of that sort of, even though it's a room where you guys are jamming, it's still kind of born in that space.
Yeah, well, we're musicians who perform. I mean, I was playing live long before I was recording, so certainly with this record and a large portion of the records I've ever made are an extension of me being a live performer. They're two different arts, the recording arts and the performing arts, but we believe that rock records, at least the records that we make, we want it to kind of be a little closer to our live performance than, say, a more fabricated, produced trip. Yeah.
Looking forward to the rest of the year, what have you got next after the Big Day Out?
Well, the Big Day Out kind of represents the end of our committed tour schedule for the last year. So we're excited to be here, and we're going to rock and then go home and chill out for a little bit, and then we'll collectively decide where we go. So we don't know yet.
And are you sticking around at the festival? Did you in the Gold Coast to see some of the other acts on the bill?
I caught some of Mudhoney, and they were very good as usual. And I have no plans right now as to what I'm going to do, but I'm sure I'll see some cool bands before the whole thing's over, for sure.
Hopefully not doing too many more interviews throughout the run.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry to keep you away from the music.
Oh, no problem, man.
Well, it's going to be a joy to see you. I don't get to see you in Melbourne. I'm going to see you in Sydney on Sunday.
Great.
And I hope you enjoy the rest of your time here in Australia. And any plans to get back here before too long?
Well, I always have plans to come back here, so I don't know when, but I'll be back.
Well, we look forward to seeing you next time. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.